It's official. We are declaring today Sean Knight. Sox win on Sean Knight. Let's talk about Sean Knight. I'm Sean. That was stupid. CHGO White Sox postgame show. Postgame show presented by Bet365, where winning is everything. Download the Bet365 app and use code CHGO365 when you sign up. Welcome into Studio West of our West Loop offices here in downtown Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Anderson. Alongside me, my producer, Chloe Theo.
Hey,
it's a busy night here in the CHGO offices.
Been busy.
We, before today, kicked the Cubs out and made them do a remote show. Right now, in what is the Xfinity Loft, let me make sure I'm proper here, the Bulls are currently doing a live stream as the Bulls selected 4 and 5. And then if we thought that wasn't enough, if we thought Sarah and Chloe and Steven were going to be absolutely swamped, the Blackhawks and Kyle Davidson chose to debase themselves for the NHL public. Congrats to them. If you want a Blackhawks trade reaction, go look at the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. If you want a Bulls draft reaction, go look at the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. You're probably on the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. Hit subscribe. Hit the like button. It's the CHGO White Sox postgame show. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. Sox win 2-1. We will talk about the win tonight, but we have to talk about the postgame comments from Sam Antonacci yesterday. We mentioned them, and shout out to Aaron, who actually had a super chat to specifically send in the quote. Great job quoting it, by the way. Went back, listened to it. Just perfectly clip by clip. But here is Sam Antonacci talking about the win last night. No. Okay. All right. Well, we're having issues here on the CHGO White Sox postgame show. Maybe we won't do that. Chloe, you see that the purple thing with the dots at the bottom right? Yeah, whatever. We're going to skip it. All right. We'll do this after the break. Don't worry about it. All right, let's get into today's recap. It's game 78 versus Cleveland. Sox are 41-37 on the year. We will talk about Antonacci's tennis/walk-off drop later on in the show. It's Burke versus Messick. First off, I don't think this was the plan for tonight. Brooke Fletcher, the first female team game analyst for the White Sox. Congrats to Brooke on that achievement. Game analyst is not a word typically used, I think. People will probably more think of it as color commentator. So Brooke is the first color commentator, which Steve Stone is. Mary Shane was the first full-time play-by-play broadcaster, female play-by-play broadcaster, not only for the White Sox, but just in sports. That was back in 1977. So it's taken a long time to get another female into the booth. So congrats to Brooke for that. I don't think this was the plan. I think Brooke did a good job, but I think they announced that this was happening at 5:21. So not only I think Brooke was kind of put into this situation. I don't know if Brooke was ready, quote unquote, for it. She lived up to it and did a great job. She was absolutely ready for the moment, but I don't think she got to prepare, maybe is the word I'm looking for, because, I do think that Steve was like, I don't think I'm going to make it today at 5, and then they had to scramble. I think they were looking for at least, the Brooke to be a part of the Sox Charities thing. Christian says people were pissed about the broadcast thing. I mean, not really. People are annoyed about anything. Also, I thought John made a stupid remark when he's like, talk about Watson in the 4th. Let's just get into the game recap. Top 1, Burke with an efficient 1-2-3 inning, 7 pitches, 6 strikes. Bottom of the 1st, Sox put 2 100-mile-per-hour balls in play. Sox do go down 1-2-3. One of those balls was from Miguel Vargas. Almost went out, was hit to the warning track. That will be important later on today. Top 2, Burke, an efficient 1-2-3 inning, 8 pitches in that inning, 7 strikes. So total 15 pitches, 13 strikes. Very efficient from Sean Burke. Bottom 2, Messick goes 1-2-3. Both Colson and Braden Montgomery struck out. How fun. They haven't hit a homer in the same inning, but they have struck out in the same inning. Wait, I do have that one, don't I? Okay, some of the noises work. All right. Top of the third, Kwan with a lead-off double. Hedges then hit by a pitch. Halpin with a sac bunt pushes two Guardians to second and third. And then Burke K's Travis Bazzana. After yesterday, I was worried that Travis Bazzana might be more potent than Kevin McGonigal. Might even be more potent than Bobby Witt Jr. You know who's a good neutralizer? Sean Burke. In a 1-2 count, 98 up and away. Baby, let's go, Sean Burke. Then Manzardo with a flyout. He ends that inning scoreless. He does allow runners to get to third and second, but they do not cross the plate. And in a great article from James Fegan over at Sox Machine, shout out to James, who also responded to me about my question about Grant Taylor and his cutters. Hopefully he comes in tomorrow and we can talk about Grant Taylor's pitch mix. There's no time for it today, Sean, okay? We have to talk about Sean. In a great article from James Fegan, Sean Burke mentioned that he was trying to make perfect pitches, especially in the Dodgers game, and that he was kind of overthinking it. And Zach Bove mentioned in this article, it's something that we've noticed, something that he's felt before, and it's definitely clicked last outing. So it's good to see the jump. They were trying to work his mechanics to gain more efficiency, more power. And we saw last outing mile-per-hour increase in his four-seam fastball, sitting close to 96 miles per hour, and tonight nearly another mile-per-hour increase over his yearly average, sitting around 95 and a half. Sean Burke was effective tonight. Bottom three, Romo did hit a deep drive. Foul. Sox go 1-2-3. Top four, Rocchio grounds out to first base. Hoskins flies out to right field. Burke covers the first base bag on a ground out. 1-2-3 for Burke. 40 pitches through 4 innings. Extremely efficient. Bottom four, Grichuk gets the first Sox hit of the game. A 1-out double. Chases Cade in a full count. Froze by a fastball down the middle. I don't know what Chase was looking for. And then Colson, he's been struggling. Miggy's been struggling. Thankfully, Colson's able to come through with an RBI single. I know that it's been frustrating to watch them over the past couple of games. 5 for 42 in the Detroit series. I think 1 for 9 Teal, Vargas, and Colson were, or 1 for 12 with 9 Ks. Teal, Colson, and Vargas were last night. Colson comes through bottom of the fourth with an RBI single. Sox take the lead. Top of the fifth, Burke gives it right back. Khalil Watson, leadoff solo homer. Game is tied 1-1. It's Watson's first career homer, and that is when, speaking of Watson, the Bulls, congratulations, selecting Caleb Watson. I wish I had the clip. Yeah, John Triffin really thought he was doing something there. Sorry, pal. Then Kwan with an 8-pitch at bat. Thankfully, they did get him on a check swing, so Burke was able to pitch around. Some hairiness in the top of the fifth. Hedges with the single, Halpin with the single, but then he K's Bazzana in a full count. Can't get the 8 and 9 guys, but can get the number 1 pick out. Does strike out Bazzana again. Manzardo with a 5-pitch walk, and then Rocchio, a broken bat, infield fly out. Burke at 68 pitches through 5. Bottom 5, Braden with the leadoff walk. Acuna grounds out for a fielder's choice. Then Acuna, even though he grounds out, and he's been fantastic this month, and he steals second. Ball goes into center field. He takes third. The ball did hit him in the back of the head. It's not his fault that Antonacci fouls out to third. Romo K's, but Acuna creating havoc on the bases. Exactly what he's there for. No damage done by the Sox. Then we go top of the 6th. Watson, 2-out single. He gets caught stealing. A great throw by Romo right on the shoulder. Great tag by Acuna. Sox get out of some hairiness there. Bottom 6, Miguel Vargas comes through, solo homer, 2-1 Sox. It's number 17 on the year. He had 2 homers versus lefties last year in 2025. We're not even at the All-Star break. Miguel Vargas has 8 homers versus righties, 8 homers versus lefties, 9 homers versus righties. He has been a thrill to watch. A great player. And him and Colson showing flexibility. Acuna played shortstop today. Colson sliding over to third base, and Vargas playing first base. Top 7, Hedges with a 1-out double. Then Burke is pulled. Newcomb comes in, and Newcomb will do something that not many people have done this millennium, right? 2000? We'll talk about it. Halpin comes out. Fry comes in to pinch hit. Newcomb gets Fry to ground out. Bazzana then grounds out to first base. Burke's day is done and final. 6 1/3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 6 Ks, 3.71 ERA on the season for Burke. He has now gone 7 1/3 innings of 1 earned run against the Yankees last outing, and now 6 1/3 innings today. 17 called strikes, 14 whiffs, 45 swings, 34% called strike plus whiff percentage. Major league average is 30%. 18 batted ball events, 8 hard hits, 87.5 average mile per hour X velocity. He was up a mile per hour on his four-seam fastball, up a half a mile on his sinker and cutter on his yearly average. Sean Burke was fantastic and exactly what the Sox needed tonight. Top 8, Hoskins, 2-out walk. Newcomb then froze Fairchild in a full count. They get out of the inning. Bottom 8, Messick gets 2 grounders. He's pulled 7 2/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 10 Ks. Oof. Sox should not have won, but they did. Messick had a great game. Sox were able to squeak out a win, and that's what they should be able to do. They could score more runs than the Guardians. They've already done it in 2 games so far. Top 9, Watson with a fly out to left, Kwan with a liner to Acuna, Newcomb, Case, Hedges. It's Sean night, baby. Let's go. Sean Newcomb records a save with 2 2/3 innings pitched. The last White Sox to do it this millennium to go 2 2/3 plus while recording the save. Jonathan Cannon back on June 7th of 2024 versus Boston. Damaso Marte, August 20th, 2023. Antonio Ozuna, September 13th, 2002 versus the Yankees. Antonio Ozuna, September 10th, 2002 versus the Royals. Antonio Ozuna, June 29th, 2002 versus the Cubs. And then John Garland with a 3-out save or 3-inning save on July 17th, 2001. I don't know how to read dates. I'm looking at 7 and I'm like, what month is that? I think the only one that wasn't like a true blowout save, it did seem like Ozuna protected a 1-run lead. I'm not sure if the Cubs started to come back there. I mean, he didn't allow an earned run, so it does seem like Ozuna truly did go for a 3-inning save there back on June 29th, and it does seem like maybe Damaso Marte did it as well, as he did not allow an earned run, and the Sox won 5-3. So actually protecting a lead for this long, it does seem like Antonio Ozuna and Damaso Marte were the last ones to do it in a truly close game. Newcomb needed to go this amount. He was their best option. Hudson was down. Dominguez was down. Taylor was down. They needed Newcomb. They needed Burke. They got that. They won. What a freaking start. I mean, that's amazing. Sox are now 42-37. I know that Detroit run sucked. I'm not really surprised that they got really whooped by the Yankees. Still, played fairly competitive. But, I mean, this team is special. You can't look at me and say that the Guardians are a better baseball team. And I'm sorry if some Guardian fans are watching. This is a better baseball team. This is without Mune. They did this without Teal. They did this without their 2-war center fielder and Tristan Peters. They did this without a bullpen. When people are talking about Will Venable is the reason this team isn't 10 more wins up, you are delusional. You're crazy. This team is now 7-6, and they've been going with 4 starters since Sandlin went down. What do you want from this team? Now, I'm not saying it's most of you. Most of you are meatballs like me. I don't know. I welcome the meatballs. I'm so happy we get to be meatballs. It's been a while since we've been able to be meatballs. I didn't even feel like I was a meatball in 2021. I felt like I deserved something. I went through a rebuild. This doesn't feel deserved. This feels ahead of schedule. This feels like, whoa, we're over-delivering here. This is a 3-star hotel that maybe soon will be a 5-star hotel. This is such an incredible run from the Sox. Oh, hold on, wait.
Broken.
Vargas had a homer.
Broken.
Again, he's now got 8 homers versus a lefty.
Broken.
He's got 17 on the year.
Broken.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm really just befuddled by this team. He's got 2.4 WAR probably.
Broken.
Or 125 OPS plus.
Broken.
Any single night, they can get somebody to step up. They lost the Junior Perez game on Friday where he got a hit and a homer off of Tariq Skubal. They lost the Luis Angel Acuna first homer game on Sunday when all Acuna and Gonzalez had to do was make a routine play against Jahmai Jones. And they get the Sean Burke game. They get Sean Knight, Sean Newcomb game. They get Miguel Vargas just...
Broken.
Oh, kind of hit. That one kind of faded.
Broken.
All right, I'll stop being a child. They're now 26-12 at home. That is the second best in Major League Baseball. They are 22-3 in their last 25 home games. They are 11-1 versus the AL Central in home games. They have 6 walk-offs, which are tied for the 6th most. They are 16-8 in 1-run games. You're going to tell me that Will Venable's the problem? Do I have a fart noise? Where's the fart noise? do a clown. We'll do the clown horn. How about that? We got to take a break. This is absurd. I am so thrilled. And if you're not thrilled, you need a check in the head. Like, go get a job. Where is this? Tell him, Bruce.
Get a job.
We're going to take a break here on the CHGO White Sox postgame show. I'm going to talk to you about Sean Burke. I said I was going to be intelligible on this postgame show when I tweeted out the link on Twitter, and I hope I've lived out to that promise, because I feel delusional and wacky about this team. We're going to take a break here on the CHGO White Sox postgame show. We want to let you know about our friends over at Old National Bank. Get old with our friends over at Old National Bank. I sent my wife the photo of the Old National Bank billboard on I-90 yesterday. It said tailored and swift, and she's a, fan. Yeah, all she do is they get tailored and swift financial information from our friends over at Old National Bank. Whether it's on the field or in your financial life, the best teams win by delivering excellence at every level. At Old National Bank, we believe every play matters. From everyday checking to long-term planning and commercial banking, our team is here to build momentum and help you move the ball forward. It all starts with a plan tailored for you by professionals you trust. From simple tasks to bigger financial moments, you can count on us to coordinate your needs with steady, knowledgeable guidance that brings clarity and confidence to each and every step. It's a partnership designed to help you feel supported, not just today, but well into the future. So whether you're celebrating a win, rebuilding after a tough loss, or gearing up for whatever comes next, we've got your back with tools, insights, and an expert crew that's always in your corner. Old National Bank, member FDIC, where relationships and results matter. And we want to let you know about our friends over at ComEd. We're all looking for ways to stand out at work. I'm trying to stand out by being the best Madden player for ALLCITY Day coming up. I'm going to show Jake what the Jaguars are all about in a second. But what if we told you there's a way, by not playing video games, that you could stand out at your company and save your company hundreds of thousands of dollars? Just sign up for a free facility assessment from ComEd. Their engineers will give you free insight and actions that can help you save your business on energy costs. Basically, they'll create a plan to help you stand out and your business save for free. So visit ComEd.com/facility assessment to learn more. Again, visit ComEd.com/facility assessment to learn more. You could sign up for a free facility assessment from ComEd, where their engineers will give you free insight and actions that can help you save your business on energy costs. ComEd.com/facility assessment. Actual savings will vary based on customers' rate and usage. Welcome back to the CHGO White Sox post-game show. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribing to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. We'll be back tomorrow, hopefully talking about a White Sox sweep. I also want to update you. We will not have a show next week on Monday. We will be going, I believe, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week. So mark it on your calendars if it is that important. That would be really cool if you had a calendar for the CHGO White Sox show. Maybe a little bit unnecessary. I think that's why Twitter's a thing. But hey, you'd be doing more planning than probably me for my own show. So I'll do it electronically. So whatever. All right. Anyways, next week, Tuesday versus Baltimore at 5:35, Wednesday against Baltimore at 11:35, and then Thursday, July 2nd, against the Guardians at 5:40. Okay. All right. Before we get into Sean Burke, I wanted to play the Sam Antonacci comments, because again, this team is now 26-12 at home. This team is 22-3 in their last 25 at home. They are 11-1 versus the division at home. This team has walked off 6 times this year. This team has it, Hawk.
TW.
Yes. You told that to Brian Kenny, and then Brian Kenny said Luis Angel Acuna is the greatest player of all time. And Luis Angel Acuna is like now the confidence of Hulk Hogan in 1980. I mean, you couldn't tell that balding brother a thing. I am so shocked by this team's resolve, the resiliency, and Sam Antonacci really did defy that or define that yesterday in his post-game comments.
This team just continues to find ways to fight back. Just take me through what the conversations that were being had with this dugout going into the ninth there.
Yeah, it's a team sport. If you're mad about giving up 2 runs in the ninth, take your ass to go play, tennis or play an individual sport. So this is a team sport. We got guys back, and we're just trying to keep the train moving.
I like that Sam says go take your ass to play tennis in a way that sounds, rude to tennis, but I don't think Sam meant that that way. I just think that's how Sam talks. I do think he meant just more like, go play a team sport. And I just love that it came out like,
take your ass to go play, tennis.
When you are going to date, maybe a she person, huh? And maybe you're like, oh, what event's gonna impress them? Oh, I'll
take your ass to go play, tennis.
My wife found a Maria Sharapova tennis racket under her bed. Maybe for a date I can
take your ass to go play, tennis.
I think that this is just an incredible comment from Sam. I really do think that he didn't mean it in a disparaging way to tennis. But truly just a way that, if you can't handle being down 1 in the 9th,
take your ass to go play, tennis.
If you can't deal with your teammate maybe screwing up in the 9th, go take your ass to play tennis. It is showing the resolve of this team, the never say die attitude of this team. It is an incredible quote. Thank you to Sam Antonacci. And this is from James Fegan, Sox Machine. This is from their YouTube channel. Go subscribe to their YouTube channel. I believe their win percentage of the White Sox is how much you pay for a yearly subscription right now. So you can go pay like 52 cents for a yearly subscription to Sox Machine. Here you go. There you go. I'm using your content, so I'm gonna plug for you guys. Hopefully it's okay. But when Sam Antonacci was asked, have you ever thought about hitting a walk-off before?
Have you ever pictured what a walk-off would feel like? Be like?
No, I mean, it's fun for like a few minutes, and then, you got a game to prepare for the next day. So, it's just we're worried about Messick, I think, has the ball tomorrow.
And, I just love that answer. Yeah, no. Really worried about Messick tomorrow. They didn't do that good of a job against Messick, but, hey, they won. And that's all that matters. I don't think they would trade a 6-5 win for a 2-1 win or the 15-2 win against Minnesota. A win is a win is a win, right? And that's all that matters for Sam Antonacci, Sammy Coldcuts. I call him Nachi. Some people call him Snatchy because it's Sam Natchi. So I know that this player has endeared themselves to the South Side. Shy Buff saying Sam epitomizes everything that it means to be a Southsider. I believe Nick Morawski was appearing in a White Sox graphic that says he has the heart of a lion and the makeup of a true White Sox. That felt like it would be a perfect saying for maybe Bill Swertsky, White Sox fan. He has the heart of a lion, and he epitomizes everything the White Sox are about. Aaron did have a comment earlier. He also mentions, wow, Sam can't even celebrate right. He's a psycho. He's nuts, completely nuts. I talked to him, and it was just like, I don't know if you guys remember the Sam Antonacci Sox Fest interview that I had with him. Most of them went really okay. I told Grant Taylor his curveball stunk, and I don't think he liked that, and I really kind of poorly phrased it, so that's my bad. I felt weird about that for a while. Tanner McDougal, I was in love with the kid. I want Tanner McDougal to be on the White Sox right now. I want to root for Tanner McDougal. He was really impressive. Couldn't figure out Antonacci for the hell of it. I had a pretty decent, normal conversation with Shane Smith. In no weird way to Sam, I just don't think he likes doing media. And I think it's just in a way that, he kind of rejects it in a way that Vasso really pulls media towards him. It seems like he's very natural in the limelight and with a mic in his hand. I think Sam Antonacci hates this part about being a Major League Baseball player, and not even in a bad way. I think that he was raised right. I think that when he's at home, he can be a very, very, very normal person, probably beloved by his friends. But yeah, this dude at his job, psycho, and in the best way possible. I would have that conversation, 100 times over. He's crazy in the most positive way possible. We do have a favorite. Blank name kind of picked up my joke a little bit better. Blank name, like walking into a 3-star hotel and finding a briefcase filled with unmarked bills. Pretty much, it's free money. It's a house right here. Come, it's free money. It's free real estate. I am absurdly impressed with this team. And they really needed a big start tonight from Sean Burke. And they got that. And James Fegan had a great piece over at Sox Machine today talking about what has started to go right for Sean Burke. And it is something mechanically. It is something that you can actually point to and say, maybe this is going to be a different pitcher here. This is a person that has experience. This is a person that has pedigree. This is a person that, even though he did, barely cracked, I think, the 2025 top 100 prospect list for The Athletic. He was like 100, or maybe like honorable mention from Keith Law. It just hasn't been the refinement that we've seen from Sean Burke. And people pointed to the opener last time because Brian Hudson opens for him, and then he goes 7 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 8 Ks versus the Yankees. But what it really does seem to be is just more of a refinement of Sean Burke. There is a GIF here in this Sox Machine article that shows a Sean Burke pitch against the Mariners. Maybe this is probably 2025 because it looks like Eugenio Suarez is at the plate. I could be wrong on that, but it does look like an old Sean Burke thing, and it looks like the same mechanics, but truly what does change is Sean's holding of his top leg. And what he is pretty much doing, and I'll try to show you this. This is great. I'm a pro. But pretty much like Sean just wasn't holding this position long enough. And he was, now turning his hip a little bit more, holding this position, and then he's able to drive a little bit more. And not only is that drive going to more fluid motion, more fluid unwinding of his hips, more zip on his fastball, it's just giving him confidence that, hey, if I have everything in tuned, I'm not trying to throw the perfect pitch, I am just a really good pitcher, kind of clicks. I think he's had a moment now where something has clicked. 13 2/3 innings, 11 hits allowed, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 14 Ks. You could talk about maybe 11 hits, but I don't really want to hear it. I mean, he's got a sub-1 whip. He's been in control. He's been attacking. If he allows some batted balls, that's fine. He allowed a homer to Watson today. He allowed a homer to McMahon last time. Oh, well, those are 2 games that they won. I'm not really upset. But Zach Bove, I've been kind of wondering, what has been Bove's effect? And I do think that with pitching, it's a little bit more niche than what Showman has to do. Not even in a bad way, but, Showman is providing great, I think, game plans for them, and they are doing a great job of making these guys more athletic, him and Ryan Fuller. With Bove and Bannister, I do think that it is tougher to get something to click for these pitchers. However, James says the counter rotation that Burke is gaining is when a pitcher is rotating away from the plate for a split second to build up force, something that Burke has been working on for a minute. Bove said about this, it's something that we notice, something that we know he's felt before and definitely clicked last outing. So it was good to see the jump. It's been something that we've been working on the last couple of weeks, really, but sometimes it just takes a little bit to resonate. And Burke said, working on doing it more with my upper body instead of my lower body, keeping my hips a little bit more neutral, allowing my arm to climb to take my torso back as opposed to rotating my whole hips and torso back. It creates better stretch, and my arm is freed up, and the timing of everything felt much better. And you are truly seeing him look better. The stuff just looks crisper. The stuff moves better. The slider is dominant, and the curveball has always been a very important pitch, but now it's a true pitcher. This is a guy that can attack you up in the zone with a 4-seam fastball. If he needs to change it up on you and throw a cutter in to a lefty, if he needs to backdoor it, a sinker versus a righty, or maybe even front hip one, he can do that. He can drop the hammer when needed, and he can also just wipe you out with a slider. He has the makings of having it all. If there's a pitcher that has been on this, he's better than Davis Martin, is what maybe I'm trying to say. He does truly have, I think, ace potential. Martin did a good job early in the season of being that ace, being that stopper that they needed. I think Davis, though, is more of a 4-5, maybe a long-term true starter, like a Waka, a Lugo, right? Maybe he has a really good year than others, but overall he's going to be around a 4 ERA guy, positive, and make 32 starts a year. That's a guy that's going to get paid. Seth Lugo made like $68 million. Davis Martin could possibly make like a really good amount of money once he finally hits the free agent market. Sean Burke might have like 2-ish potential. I don't know if he might be like a 1. I know ace is a tricky word. I do think that he can be the White Sox best pitcher. I think Noah Schultz's development might be a little bit longer than we might want. And I think Sean's also a good point here. Sean's around 26, It hasn't been overnight with him. He flashed in 2024. He flashed in 2025. Saw a velocity tick at the end of 2025. Wasn't really able to carry that over until now. You know, Noah, it's going to be a gradual increase. Not only does he need experience, not only does he need true coaching, but he needs refinement, and that's just going to come through pitching and pitching and pitching. You know, Randy Johnson, the comp for him, didn't hit until he was like 39, and then he won 4 straight Cy Youngs. He had the ability and kind of potential to be amazing, and it took a long time for maybe, you know, I mean, Randy Johnson was really good in the 90s. Don't get me wrong. He was good with the Mariners. But, you know, it really didn't click for Randy until like 27, 28, 29. That might be the case with Noah. I think Sean is maybe hitting this point where, you know, again, something is clicking. We're going to take a break here on the CHGO White Sox postgame show. We're going to talk about tomorrow. We're going to preview if the Sox can actually sweep or not. We're also talk about where they currently sit in the playoffs. They do lead the AL Central, so make sure you're hitting the thumbs up button for the division leading Chicago White Sox. We want to let you know about our friends over at Bet365, where winning is everything. Download their app today and use code CHGO365 when you sign up. When you wager your first wager of $10 or more, you get $150 in bonus bets to wager on whatever your heart desires. Future, player props, spreads, totals, money lines. Go over to Bet365, where winning is everything, and use code CHGO365, mainly because they love spending a full night at the ballpark, but they also get it. There's 81 home games in a season, and you've got places to be, whether you're trying to beat the Dan Ryan traffic home or you're trying to get to the 33rd Street bars before they fill up. Sometimes getting out of the game early is the move. That's why with Bet365, they're offering their 5-run early payout offer. Whenever the team you're riding goes up 5 runs at any point in the game, they'll pay your bet out right then and there. It's as simple as that. They can't stop bullpens from ruining your day, but they can stop them from ruining your bets. Bet365, where winning is everything. Download the app and use code CHGO365 when you sign up. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus. Must be physically located in Illinois. Terms and conditions apply. In app only. We also want to let you know about our friends over at Casamigos. Look, we got props, the spicy one and the normal Casamigos. Bring your friends, family, and frenemies together. One Casamigos marg at a time. No matter who you're supporting, say cheers with a Casamigos margarita. Pair your World Cup watch party food with delicious, new, ready to drink and enjoy Casamigos margaritas. They're made with the best and simple ingredients like Blanco tequila, lime juice, and natural flavors, and they're sure to rival any of your favorite hangout spots. All you have to do is uncork, pour over ice, and garnish with a lime. They're just 110 calories per serving with real juice. We also have U.S. men's national team's watch parties coming up. We have samples for Casamigos coming up and prizes for those in attendance. You can attend our next one on the 25th of June over on Joe's on Wheat Street when the USA men's national team takes on Turkey. So whether at your favorite spot or stocking up at home, make it Casamigos. Visit allchgo.com/events to RSVP for any or all of the U.S. men's national team watch parties coming up. Hello, welcome back to the CHGO White Sox postgame show. I got to figure something out with our guy Nil in the Die Hard Discord, but we might have something to give away. We'll figure that out. All right, fun. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. Sox win 2-1. It was their day of giving for Sox charities, so if you do want to go support one of the White Sox podcast that did have a podcast shirt made, you can go over to the Sox Charities website that I definitely know and have. It's MLB.com/White Sox/charities. I believe they would still be taking donations, so go ahead over and buy a t-shirt for either Locked On White Sox, Sox on 35th, or from the 108 to support charity. Brett Kaplan with Taylor Swift's debut album as his profile picture, saying Chicago White Sox first place all alone. That's amazing. They're having a very good season. They are having a very good season, Brett. You're right about that. I'm still amazed just looking at the top of the AL Central and seeing the Chicago White Sox. They're 41-37. Cleveland's now 41-39. Sox lead by a full game. Wait, why isn't this updated? Why does ESPN always do this? It is a bad website, man. They should be 42. It's not even updated. Are they not? Did I just write down? Did I just assume that the White Sox? I did. Okay. That's on me. I just assumed the White Sox were going to win today, and they did. So I just had the record wrote down wrong. Congratulations to me. So the Sox, I still can't believe it. The Sox are 41-37. They have a full game lead over Cleveland. Even if they lose tomorrow, they're likely to be a half game up because it'd be, 48-38? Well, no, because 40... I don't know. I can't do math. The Sox have a -2 run differential. Cleveland sits at -9. Twins sit at -19. Tigers sit at -4. They did lose today, but they, I think, demolished the Rays or the Yankees yesterday. They lost 4-3 today. KC did bounce back. They're at a -36 run differential, but they beat Tampa 12-5 today. I still just can't just fathom that they're 41-37. Again, when they sent down Sandlin, this team is now above 500 with 4 starters. They don't have pitching, and yet they're winning. And they're doing it without Murakami. They're doing it without Teal. Jacob Gonzalez is now 0 for 25 in his last at-bats. Not to bust toss Jacob Gonzalez, but the guy that they called up to replace Mooney hasn't been really doing it. But here's Andrew Benintendi. Here's Randall Grichuk with a double today. Here's Luis Angel Acuna stealing bags and just causing havoc for Messick. Braden Montgomery walked today to at least start off that inning as well. And obviously Miguel Vargas has just been one of the major gains this year. Colson was a massive gain last year when he came onto the scene in 71 games and hit 21 homers. But Vargas has turned into a completely different player. We talked about last year, the doubles were a thing, needed to turn that double power into homer power. And the job that Showman and Fuller have done to turn him into a true slugger is huge for the White Sox. There's been talk in our diehard Discord about just kind of being comfortable moving Colson over to third base if the back injuries are a thing, if Rock Chalowski is going to be the White Sox next shortstop, moving him over to third base, having Mooney and Vargas split time at first base, and whoever's not playing first base is the DH that day. It seems like a real potent lineup. You add Teal at catcher. Maybe Caro is something. Maybe Caro could be traded. Antonacci and Majdroth can split at second base. Antonacci has clearly proven that he could play left field as well. They really do have something building here. And depends on how good Chalowski is, but even then, Rock's probably going to be asked to bat like 7th or 8th to start. They're not going to throw him into the deep water because they don't have to. They have Vargas, who is naturally either a leadoff hitter, a third hitter, or a fourth hitter. They asked him to lead off today, and he get led off with a really nice struck ball against Messick, and thankfully on the third time around came through with a huge homer. It's incredible seeing the amount of contributors for this team. You really don't know who it's going to be. I am truly just in love with this team. I don't know if I've ever loved a White Sox team this much. I liked the 2021 White Sox, don't get me wrong, but it did feel a little forced. I think I loved the 2020 team a little bit more, but that I think was more COVID, and that everyone knows what 2020 was. That was just a rough year for people. And I think baseball was a real nice, those 60 games were important. A little bit of playoff. But, maybe 2005 is the last team that actually rivaled this type of love. I did love the 2006 team. I did love the 2008 team. But I also felt like, they won a championship before. Everything else feels like a disappointment. Going from 121 losses in 2024 to now, they won 41 games that year. Maybe that's the story. Why am I hosting this show? I had one hell of a lead. In 2024, the Chicago White Sox set a record of 121 losses. They finished the season at 41-21. This year, things have changed. Oh, shit, sorry. 78 games into the season. They already have 41 wins. It's incredible. John in the chat saying in the offseason, would signing a veteran mess up this young core? I mean, no, because I think the main thing is the veteran won't be signed to be a position player. The veteran's going to be signed to be a pitcher. And we have seen pitchers screw up the vibe in the clubhouse. Lance Lynn, Joe Kelly, Kendall Graveman. We have seen catchers screw up the vibe in the clubhouse. Yasmani Grandal. So, yeah, I do think that this is this is chemistry. This is something that could fall out of balance. This is something that if injuries happen, it could ruin the vibe. We saw that in 2022. But I do think that, there will be a common thread for these guys to consistently pull on if, Mooney, Vargas, Colson, have long careers here. So I do think that there could be a common thread that pulls them together and maybe keeps that chemistry going. But even with 2005, I mean, you saw it. Like, I think the quote from Joe Colley was that he never saw a team with better chemistry in 2005, and then Nick Swisher threw off the chemistry. Funnily enough, I think in 07, because I think 06 they had a decent run and brought in Tomey, and then I think 07 they tried to flesh out that outfield a little bit. I was 10, so feel free to give me a little bit of grace. 08, my bad. But yeah, he comes in 08, and Ozzie hated Swisher, and 08 they did a decent job. And there was a game 162, or sorry, 163, and you had the blackout game with Griffey's throw with Tomey's homer. Like, you had that moment, but could that team have done more? You'll never know because of apparently Nick Swisher. So it's not a terrible question, John, but I think just expectations will always mess up a chemistry, and that's something that Will Venable will truly have to balance. But if you're looking at a team with no expectations, 500 would have been a win, and this is a team that's 4 games above 500, AL Central leading, and I think at this point, looking dynamic. Papa Hogue in the chat saying any veteran named Caleb. I'm not sure if they're going to get a Caleb. The Cubs have Caleb Thielbar. The Bulls now have Caleb Wilson. The Bears obviously have Caleb Williams. I don't think the Hawks have a Caleb, right? No, they have a Connor. So Hawks and Sox need to figure out Caleb. I don't know if it's that important, but they do. It wouldn't hurt to add a Caleb. Maybe we just sign. There was a Caleb that was interviewed for Sox Charity. He seemed to have a good vibe. Maybe we have Caleb hang out in the clubhouse just to add a Caleb. He was Caleb, I think, with a K. So maybe we don't do that because maybe C's important. Yeah, I whatever. I'm going on a rant. Doesn't matter. Let's talk about tomorrow. Sox are going up against Tanner Bybee. Sox are throwing out Eric Fetty. There has not been at least an announcement to my knowledge of if an opener has been made. I do think that Venable typically says that after a game. I wouldn't hate seeing Grant Taylor. I wouldn't hate seeing maybe Tyler Davis in a way. They're more of a right-handed lineup, Cleveland, at least from what we've seen so far. I know that they do have Manzardo and Bazana. Rocchio's decent, Hoskins decent. Maybe you do throw a lefty out there to go up against Manzardo and Bazana, but do they then counter with righty-handed heaviness? Bybee is a righty, so maybe Colson will be able to come through with a homer in tomorrow's game. Antonacci likely will be leading off for them. I, in a way, trust Fetty, though. His major issue has been homers, and as long as he's not walking guys, he typically can get favorable batted ball events, at least like in the park. He usually doesn't get like hit to death from my recollection. This year he usually just gets screwed because he gives up like 2 homers and walks like 3 guys, and there's 2 guys on when he gives up a homer. But not only as of late has Fetty been good, but I do think that you do have a chance to definitely win tomorrow and pull off the sweep. And if this team is 42 and 37, I'm going to be more intelligible today than I am already. But at least in the past couple of outings, especially in June so far, Fetty last time out against Detroit, 4 2/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs. He did give up, I guess, the game-losing run to Carpenter in the 6th. I didn't mind that just because I thought the Sox could have provided a little bit more offense, especially in a little bit of a counter once they got Skubal out. They didn't do that. But, 1 walk, 4 Ks, only 4 hits allowed. Against LA, 2 2/3, 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks. And then Atlanta, 5 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 1 homer, no walks, 4 Ks. And then against Minnesota, 5 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 2 Ks. They would need a really great performance from Fetty. I guess they got kind of hit to death in that huge San Francisco park, 3 1/3, 10 hits, but I mean, even dating back to Detroit, he hasn't given up more than 6 hits of June 29th. He's been somewhat locked in, and I do think that Cleveland just doesn't have the pop that maybe you just go with Fetty for an opener and then see who you need to use, whether it is Hudson, Dominguez, or Taylor tomorrow. Hopefully he can give you 5, and you can get maybe an inning out of Taylor, an inning out of Hudson, see where you can use Dominguez, and then you just need to likely to rely on like a Joe Rock appearance. I think it's doable. Bybee has been effective before, but I do think that they've gotten through like the thick of it when it comes through Cleveland starters. Messick looked amazing today. Gavin Williams was touching 100. Bybee was great in 2023 with a 2.98 ERA, but he has started to regress. And I think a main thing that was a focal point of him was, kind of commanding the zone. His walks haven't inflated too much. I guess it's mainly been homers for him that is like kind of taking a turn. It doesn't show this at all. Great. 16 homers this year. So, maybe just a little bit too aggressive in the zone, and I think maybe the stuff is likely weakened for Bybee on the mound. So I do think a sweep is absolutely possible. I just don't think that Cleveland's that good. You've seen Cade Smith, and the Sox were able to get to Cade Smith. They haven't thrown a Spino at all. I don't know. Bybee, when you look at 2023, was mainly throwing a four-seam cutter, sitting at 94.9, mixed in a changeup cutter that more looks like a slider, and then a changeup and a curveball. 2026, now throwing pretty much the same cutter that is pretty much a slider. A four-seam fastball that's sitting 94.1, so maybe he's lost a little bit of zip there. Worked in a sinker that looks fine. The changeup looks bad. It looks definitely like an outlier, but it's got like no drop at all. It's somehow a rising changeup. So that just seems like a dud of a pitch, and he's thrown it 17 times. That's probably the homer or pitch that he's given up the most homers on. So we'll see if, just Colson Montgomery gets a fat changeup and hits it out. 245 slugging against the changeup. So I don't know if it's been the changeup. It's mainly been the cutter. 563 slugging against. So get a cutter and hit it well. That's going to be it for the CHGO White Sox postgame show. Jaime, or Jamie, I'm going to go Jaime. My last name is Velez. On a side note, I thought Brooke Fletcher did a great job, especially with short notice. That's, I think, the only takeaway I'm gonna give notice to. I think Brooke, in a situation that a woman hasn't been put into for nearly 50 years, possibly with an hour notice, not saying Brooke isn't, well prepared, knowledgeable in the White Sox. It's a different role completely, a role that I'm not sure if she's done in her broadcasting career, and she, with short notice, did a great job. I think it was also just an odd night with having the charity interviews back and forth. So, she really did a great job for stepping up. So not only is it a night of Sean's, it is not only Sean night, but it was Brooke Fletcher night. So shout out to Brooke Fletcher. Sox get a win on Brooke Fletcher night. That's going to do it for the CHGO White Sox postgame show. Sox improved to 41-37 to my surprise. That's going to do it for the CHGO White Sox postgame show. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. That CHGO Sports YouTube channel has a Bulls NBA draft live stream that I think might still somehow be going on. We have a live reaction from Mario J. and Greg to the Blackhawks trade of Bowen Byram. And we obviously have a Bears show. The Cubs have a show reacting as well right now. So if you are looking for any Chicago coverage, the moment it happens, we have you covered here at CHGO. Thank you to Chloe. I'm Sean Anderson. Hit that thumbs up button. We will see you tomorrow when the Sox look to sweep the Tigers. It is a day game, so we'll see you around like 3:34. Bye.
We all silly like the mayor.